Okay, so this video is all about creating pre-launch content. It's about the different types of pre-launch content and actually the tools that we use to create the pre-launch content. So a few things that are important to remember to start with is this term horses for courses. I think of it as Australian term. The first time I heard it was from some Aussies. And this is the idea that different horses are better for different race courses, and different types of pre-launch content are right for different situations. So just because you see someone doing a launch with some certain type of pre-launch content doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Just because you see me using some fancy video, doesn't mean you have to do fancy video. So it's all about what's right for your situation. And what you use depends on your situation and your assets, what you can pull off. These days I have got a video studio. I've got a bunch of great video equipment, and I've got a great videographer and director producer who also happens to be my son Daniel. But 5 years ago I didn't have any of those assets, and it was really difficult for me to do full motion videos, so I did a lot less of it. And another thing is you do not have to, you can totally do a launch without using any video whatsoever, but video really is great for lots of situations. And the reason is because you will do best, your launch will do best if you put forward a very human face. In other words, no one wants to buy from some big corporation. They want to feel connected to the people they're buying from. So you should never feel worried about presenting some of your personality within your marketing. In fact, that's one of the things that has set me apart right from the very beginning, is I didn't try to look like some big corporation. And even way back, in 1996, 1997, when I was getting started and everyone was trying to appear like some big fancy corporation, I just intuitively felt that it would be better if I just spoke in a more personal, warm voice and people realized I was a real human. Nowadays, a lot more people realize that, and we see even the largest companies trying to appear a lot more human. And frankly, that's one of the advantages you have, or most of us have. The people who are going to be watching this tend to be in smaller businesses, sometimes even, or often even micro, tiny businesses. And one of the advantages we have over large companies is that we're very human and that people can really build a connection with us. Now, the thing is, when you are going to seek that connection, you want to be warm and personable, and you want to have a personality. You don't want to have some stuffy airline speak. By airline speak, like when you're going to board a plane, they always talk to you like you're like not even human. And you want to avoid that at all costs. And the thing is a lot of times when people start writing, for instance, and they might try to write a report, for part of their pre-launch. They might try to write a blog post. A lot of times, for a lot of people, their writing will actually they'll become a lot stuffier and corporate sounding, or sound like a college professor, and a lot less human sounding, and a lot less personable, and a lot less like a real person. It's easy for many of us to fall into that trap once we start writing. But turn a video camera on, and maybe the first few times will be awkward, but our humanity just instantly shines through when we do video for most of us. So that's why I would encourage you to consider using video, even if you're not terribly comfortable. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But video, your personality shines through, and people can instantly tell you're a human. And so a lot of ways for non-professionals, for people that aren't great marketers, great salespeople, it's often easier to connect with your audience, connect with your prospects in a lot more personable and human way when you're using video as opposed to using text. And remember, it's all about progress. It's not about perfection. Every launch I do, I get better at. If you look at The last launch I did, it is 100% better than the launch I did a year ago. And you know, if you took a look at what I looked like when I first started doing video, it wasn't a very pretty sight. So, but I just kept on getting better and getting better. And you know what? My next launch will be even better. It's about progress, not perfection. You will get better at this. So, let's just take a quick overview of some of the types of pre-launch content. So first of all, we have screen cap video. And a screen cap video is actually what you're looking at right now. Basically, I'm using software to capture what's happening on my computer screen. So I'm sitting in my office, I've got, you know, a presentation put together, and I'm just recording my screen while I talk into a microphone. Very simple, easy to do, and it can be very, very effective. Then you could use what we call full motion or live video. And this is like regular video like you would see on TV. This is if you turn the camera on and started recording yourself, that's full motion or live video. Also very, very effective in terms of pre-launch content. So two very different types of video, but both are very, very powerful. Both have strengths and or positives and minuses. Then there's also audio, something we used to use way back in the dark ages, maybe, you know, around 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, until video started getting easier, probably around 2007, 2008. So we used to do a lot of audio, don't do so much of it anymore. PDF reports. This is where you actually put together some type of written material, stuff that can go into a PDF. It doesn't have to be written. It could be mind maps and other stuff like that. We'll get into that more later on. But PDFs, long history of using those in product launches. In fact, I think I've probably used a PDF report in just about every launch I've done in the last 8, 9 years. Then there's webinars and teleseminars. They can be very, very powerful. Don't have to be overly complex, but they can be great. They can definitely be used great in pre-launch content. Also great once you open cart and you're actually selling your product. And then there is software. And this is one I don't have a lot of experience in, but it's been used very effectively. And then I'm sure there's other types of pre-launch content I haven't thought about, we haven't discovered yet, or I'm forgetting about. But those are the primary ones right there. And in my next video, we'll start going through all these different types, starting with screen capture video and full motion video.